Judge Nicola covering for Judge Manulich this afternoon. Give me a minute to get signed on.
Been covering all day for Judge Manulich.
And tomorrow. So you guys got me for 2 days.
Not me, but I wish I did.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, Mr. Miller. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me just get signed into his docket for this afternoon. And yeah, that. Okay. Do we have everybody here that needs to be here this afternoon? Looks like it. Do we want to, this morning we just went right down the docket. Maybe this afternoon, because we've got so many attorneys, maybe we should just start with the attorneys who only have a few cases. How many cases do you have, Mr. Schneider? I have Mike Schneider in the courtroom. I'm just going to call his case real quick first, if y'all don't mind, since he's here. And his case was with you, Mr. Maresca. And is that, there we go, John Hall, 20 CF 1136. What are we doing with Mr. Hall's case, please? Mr. Schneider's requesting a continuance with a waiver. Mr. Maresca, any objection to that? And the next question would be, where will we set this case?
That's fine. Can we set it for, what are our latest trial dates?
I believe earlier we were looking at June, but we also appear to have dates going through the summer.
The next case management day would be February 25th.
Okay, you just want to take it to the next case management, Mr. Schneider?
By February, or we could also schedule you in March if you think that makes more sense with doing depositions. I was kind of thinking that March made more sense when you start saying the word depositions. We're trying to schedule witnesses, et cetera. It usually, to me, means we're looking at more like March. And actually, it looks like the next case management date that Judge Manulich has is April the 1st. Would that be right, Ms. Fuentes?
Correct.
So why don't we set it for April 1st at 1:30?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's for
Okay, so there's a hearing that presets this, but we'll still keep you on that April 1st date. All right, thank you. You too. All right. Do you have anybody on Zoom who has just one or two cases that would like to be heard? I saw Mr. Russo. It looks like you have one case, sir.
Your Honor, I have Juan Vega, 20 CF 223, Angelica Gustin.
Okay, Mr. Gustin. I don't see your name on my list.
It may be on the Via Cava.
It may say Joseph.
Okay, Mr. Russo, I'll call your case next. Okay, sir. It is under Via Cava. The name is Javier Miranda Otero, 20 CF 223. Yes, ma'am. And what are we going to do for this gentleman, please?
Your Honor, we'd ask for a PTC, please.
So that you want this case to be set on a trial cycle, is that correct?
No. If the PTC will put it on a trial cycle, then we'd ask for another CMC. We need to file some motions.
Yes, the case management conference track will keep it on case management. If we set it on the pretrial, then it's going to get a trial cycle attached to it. So I could either set you for the next case management February the 25th or April 1st. What's everyone's pleasure on this one?
Can you accent it? Is it the lady judge?
I can't hear you. Yes, sir?
Your Honor, I think that may have been a person, if I'm not mistaken, unrelated to our case. We'd ask for the April 1st CMC if possible.
Thank you. All right. Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor, to April 1st.
Okay, then this will go for April 1st. Anybody who's over the Zoom app right now who is an attorney or a defendant who is in this meeting needs to mute their microphone until their matter is called, please. If you're unable to mute your microphone or unwilling, then the court will put you in a waiting room, and I don't want to have to do that. All right, Mr. Russo, you ready, sir? You're here for Mr. Yanes, 20 CF 487.
Good afternoon. We're ready for trial.
All right, so what date can we give Mr. Russo for this case, please?
We'd still be looking at the June trial cycle, Your Honor.
So it will go on a June trial cycle, Mr. Russo, and what are those dates, please, Ms. Fuentes?
Pre-trial June 8th at 10:30, calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m., trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
No objection, Your Honor. State has availability.
What was the calendar call, Ms. Fuentes?
June 22nd at 9 a.m.
June 22nd. Mr. Russo, did you indicate that you're not available that date, sir?
I'm available on every day.
Okay, wonderful. All right,
State has no objection to those dates, Your Honor.
thank you.
But staff only has one.
I do have one more, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I didn't see you. What's your other case, sir?
Jonathan Rogers, case number
Okay.
20 1354.
Yes, sir. And what are we doing for Mr. Rogers?
We're ready for trial as well. We have a motion to suppress scheduled for February 10th at 9 a.m., but we are ready for trial.
Okay. Ms. Fuentes, are we going to sit this one on the same June trial cycle?
Yes, Your Honor.
And could you announce those dates again, please, for the record?
Pre-trial June 8th at 10:30, calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m., trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
No
All
objection
right.
to those dates, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Russo. Mr. Casassa, you
you.
indicated that you have one case, Danielle Tower, 2019 CF 1932.
Judge.
Yes,
Judge,
sir.
I want
What are
to go
we
ahead and
doing
set
with that
that
case?
on a plea date.
Plea date, I could either give you tomorrow at 9:30. Also,
I'm not going to be ready by tomorrow, Judge.
I believe Judge Manuelich has the 29th at 9 also available.
I have other dates too, Your Honor.
Okay, let Ms. Fuentes tell you the other dates we have so that you can pick one.
Is she out of custody or in custody?
Out of custody.
January 27th at 9 a.m., January 27th at 2:30, February 8th at 3 o'clock.
Let's do February. You don't have the 29th like the judge said?
I had that date in my head. I think I was wrong.
Judge, you're the judge. You're never wrong.
It's probably a Saturday with my luck.
Let's
Then
do the
Judge
February.
Manuelich would be really unhappy, and the
Did you say
clerk
the-
and the bailiffs.
Did you say the
Everybody.
27th at 9 o'clock?
January 27th at 9 a.m.
Let's do that.
Your Honor, the state's unavailable on the 27th. If we could set it February 2nd, state would be available.
Yeah, I'm seeing. The interesting thing, Ms. Fuentes, is that I think this morning everybody was talking about the 29th. I think I did schedule a plea on the 29th. But now on the 27th, when I look at Judge Manuelich's docket, it shows plea at 1:30, and then it also shows a hearing in the morning at 9. I don't want to get him all messed up. I just want to make sure we have the right dates.
Well, you got me confused, Judge.
I got myself confused.
So you said February 2nd at 3?
I have February 2nd at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. That'd be great.
That's what we have too, February 2nd at 10. All right, perfect.
I take that back, Judge. I'm actually on a trial docket with Judge Adams that day, so that's not going to work. I'm sorry. What do you have after February 2nd?
February 12th at 10 a.m.
Give me 1 second, Judge.
If not, I have February 26th.
February
At 9.
12th at 10 a.m. is perfect.
Okay.
February 12th at 10 a.m.
That works for the state, Your Honor.
All right, let me take a look at that. February 12th.
Those were the dates given to me by his
Okay.
judicial assistant, Your Honor, yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a February 12th at 10 a.m. docket. I just want to make sure, because what I see when I look at Judge Manuelich's calendar is I show jury trial 9 a.m.
For the
I just want to
12th?
make sure I'm not wrong. I'm just pulling it up on Smart Bench. Play dates.
Yes, Your Honor, that was the prior trial cycle. That February 8th and 15th, due to the pandemic, we're down to 1 week trial cycles. That was the previous week.
Oh, okay. So,
February
and
8th
I don't
now
have that on my
would
plea
have been
dates
his
here with the
trial.
spreadsheet that I have. So Judge Manuelich has opened up Friday, the 12th as a plea date.
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, that works for me.
So February 12th at 10 a.m., is that correct?
February 12th at 10.
Perfect.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge,
and-
this is Steve Gregoza. I have only one case, Bell Rays, 20 CF 1456.
All right, Mr. Gregoza, let me see here. When I look at your cases, the case I see for you is Jurgita Chingwarev, 20 CF 801.
That's
I'm
actually,
sorry, that's wrong. That's Ms. Gonzalez. You have Bell Reyes.
that's actually my case, Your Honor, yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I clicked on the wrong one. 20 CF 398. Yes, Mr. Gregoza, what are we doing with this case, sir?
Okay, so, this is Bell Rays, 20 CF 1456, Judge. I'd like to continue this to April 1st. Did I write the right
Bell
date?
Reyes, I'm showing her case number is 20 CF 398, not 1456.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. You're right, 398.
Okay,
I'll
and
let-
where do you want to
to-
put it, sir?
Could I get the April 1st date?
Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Okay, April the 1st
Thank you, Judge.
at 1:30.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right,
Your Honor,
anybody else that's got one?
I've got just the one that you already called, Your Honor, Jurgita Chingarev.
Okay, thank you. And that's 20 CF 801. What are we doing with Ms. Chingarev?
I'm requesting a defense continuance, Your Honor.
And where do we want to put that one? Do we want to put that one on the April the 1st? Case management?
It's
State?
fine with me. I'm trying to get transcripts, Your Honor. So if that's fine with the state, that's fine with me. If they want to do May, that's also fine with me.
Either day works for the state.
What's your preference, Mr. Gonzalez?
Let's do April just to keep it on a little bit of a shorter leash.
Sounds good. April 1st, 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This is Lee Holland.
Judge, may I call a case as well? I have one.
What's your last name, sir?
Matt
Shafran?
Shafran on behalf of
Shafran?
Vance Kistler. It's
Yes, sir.
20 CF 1411.
It's Vance Kistler, 20 CF 1411. And Mr. Shafran, what can we do with your client, sir?
Requesting a defense continuance, Judge. I'm working with Mr. Ashby to try and resolve this. I believe I heard you say April 1st.
April 1st would be fine, as long as that's okay with the state?
No objection, Your Honor, with waiver.
Yes.
With the waiver, yes?
We filed the waiver and we'll state on the record now.
Thank you. April the 1st at 1:30, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day,
I saw
everyone.
Somebody else raised their hand. Somebody in,
Judge Michael Kennedy here. I'm covering for Victoria Hatfield for Constantino.
Hatfield, yes, I see that.
Tina's
Case
not
number
on behalf of the state.
20F534. And sir, what can we do for Miss Constantino?
Yes, Your Honor. So Ms. Hatfield has finished reviewing all the discovery and we're in the process of getting deposition set. If we could perhaps get the April 1st CMC date.
Any objection from the state?
No objection, Judge.
Thank you. April 1st, 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have, if I may be excused.
You may, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Stevens, you have one or two cases on the docket, ma'am?
2 cases on the docket, Your Honor.
Okay, Patrick Wilson, 20 CF 232.
Yes, Your Honor. He's actually picked up a new law violation. I don't believe that he has yet applied for the services of the public defender. So it's actually revoked the bond in my case. So if I could, I believe the state's trying to put those 2 cases together and work it through the public defender to RCC to me if he's going to be conflicted through that. I would ask for the 4/1/21 CMC on the case that's before the judge, and hopefully everything else will catch up.
Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor. I believe there's been a waiver of speedy trial.
And if not, I'll state on the record it's waived.
All right, thank you. April 1st at 1:30. Yes, she said she stated on the record that that would be with a waiver. Thank you. James Hyacinth, 20 CF 1041. Ms. Stevens, what are we doing for Mr. Hyacinth?
Trial, please. The June 8th, June 22, and June 28th dates would be fine.
Okay, and that work, Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor. Pre-trial.
Any objection from the state?
One more, Your Honor, the June trial cycles for highest.
Yes, sir.
Wrong page opened up.
Yes,
That works for the
6/8,
state, Your Honor.
6/22, and 6/28. What was that, sir? I'm sorry.
Those dates work for the state, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. So we will put those on the June trial cycle. Ms. Stevens, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good day.
Mr. Miller, I see that you have one case, Shannon Vosberg, 20
Yes, Your Honor.
CF 1502. You ready?
I am ready, Judge,
You're
but
very blurry today. I don't know if you know that.
I'm sorry.
You're blurry.
I'm blurry now because I'm at home and I don't want you to see what I actually look like when I'm at home.
Oh, okay. You could do a virtual background, that makes you look like well, actually you look like you're in space right now, so I wouldn't suggest that one.
I'm just not that technically able to do that.
All
I
right.
have a t-shirt on, so that's the reason why I blurred this out. But
Oh, okay. Well, I don't
Judge-
have really any objection to a t-shirt, depending on what the content of said t-shirt is, but
yeah, no,
anyway, I can hear you, so
and
that's good
nothing-
enough.
And it's never anything offensive, but when I'm in the office, I at least do wear a jacket. So, Judge, what I'm going to ask for the court, I think, is Miss Wilson on the phone? I mean, on the Zoom?
I am.
Yep, she is.
Judge, I would ask probably, I don't need that long. Mr. Vosberg has completed inpatient treatment, and I think we're going to plea this out. So if the court wants to set us for a plea date, if I can, about 4 to 6 weeks out, it's up, I don't know I don't know what Judge Manulich's schedule is.
Mr.
I'll
Miller,
defer to
if
Ms.
I may
Fuentes
make
on that.
if I may make a suggestion, how about we set this, if you're willing to waive speedy trial on the April 1st date? And then
course.
I'll get the offer out now that we have the information on the program he just completed. And then if you're still willing to accept the plea offer, you could move it to a plea date. Would that work?
Well, Your Honor, based upon that representation, I would move to continue. I'll waive speedy trial. I'll ask for the court dates that the state just asked for.
Okay, so we'll do this. We'll move this to the April 1st pretrial at 1:30. And then if you guys have a resolution of the case, then you can just set up a plea date in this case to get it resolved.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, perfect.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too, Mr. Miller. Ms. Human, I see that you only have one case. Is that accurate? Rashad?
It is. I'm also covering for Miss Maurer this afternoon.
All right, let me just see how many she has. She
only has one.
So I'll take you now. Let's start with your case, which is, it looks like Rashad Smith, 20 CF 827. What are we doing with Mr. Smith's case?
If we could continue with a waiver, Your Honor, and if we could set it for 2 cycles out. I spoke to the detective yesterday. They haven't even finished the forensic download yet, and they're not sure when they're going to be done with it. So I'm meeting with them to see what's going on, what they have so far, but they don't know when they're going to be finished.
2 cycles would be April 1st.
Perfect.
No
Any objection by the state?
None with a waiver.
With the waiver, Ms. Human?
Of course, yes.
April 1st, 1:30. All right, and then Ms. Maurer's case is Rigoberto Alvarez, and it's 20 CF 1640. What are we doing for Mr. Alvarez?
I believe this is his first time up. You're going to continue with a waiver, please.
Do you want this on the February 25th case management or the April the 1st?
April 1st would be great.
Any objection from the state?
I was on mute, Judge. Brock Virgin for the state. I have no objection.
All right, thank you. So we'll set that one for April the 1st at 1:30 as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else that's over Zoom right now, attorneys who have 1 or 2 cases? Mr. Curry, you've got your hand raised. Let me find you.
Yes, Judge Cynthia Curry. I'm here on Linton Cooper, who is also present on Zoom, Judge, and I am requesting a defense continuance.
Okay, thank you. And for the record, that's 20 CF 162. Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor.
And are you looking for the February date or the April date, ma'am? I didn't quite hear you.
Judge, I would ask for the April date, and hopefully we'll be able to work it out by then.
Okay, April 1st.
Great,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thank you. Mr. Nunez, I see you've got your hand raised. That's actually impressive because I don't really know how to do the hand raise on Zoom, but.
Hey, Judge, I just figured it out because you kept saying, so I went to the second screen. It
Hold
worked.
on, Mr. Nunez, hold on one second. Ms. Fuentes has a question.
For Linton Cooper, we need a track assigned.
Okay, what track are we going to do for Mr. Cooper? Mr. Frazier, I think that was yours?
Your Honor,
Oh, no.
Laura Mason, I'm covering for
Sorry.
Mr. Ashby for just a moment, and we would just ask to put that on a standard track.
All right, so the Cooper case will be on a standard track.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Nunez, now we're ready for you. John
Thanks,
Capel.
Judge. Yes, Your Honor.
CF 1380.
For the record, Jose Nunez. Judge, I'm requesting a continuance to the next CMC. I just got deposition dates in March yesterday from Mr. Ashby's assistant. So if we could move it to the next CMC with a waiver.
And are you looking to the February 25th date or the April 1st date? And Mr. Nunez, you can put your hand down now if you'd like.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how that works, Judge. Hang on. Let me.
I was just going to see if you knew how to do it. I was just messing with you a little bit. Because you know how to put it up. And then the question was, do you also know how to put it down? Which you do. I'm impressed. Okay, so where are we going to put this gentleman, please?
Your Honor, if Mr. Ashby has no objection, I would ask for April, just because the first availability for depots is in March.
Mr. Ashby, did that work for you, April the 1st?
Your Honor, Mr. Ashby stepped away for just a moment. April 1st does work for the state.
Okay, thank you. April 1st at 1:30, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I have a gentleman raising his hand with LG Stylo 04. Sir, who are you, please?
How you doing? I'm Mr. Cooper. I was trying to figure out what is the track? What is that you was just asking?
Mr. Cooper, your lawyer was here previously.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who you were represented by because I already
Cynthia Curry.
Oh yes, Miss Curry.
Yeah, I just heard you were talking about the track. That's why I was trying to figure out what is the track.
You're just on a regular track, which means that your case proceeds regularly. It means there's nothing expedited that's going to happen in your case. There's no complications that I know of in your case, and that may be something that you want to discuss with your attorney to see if there's any benefit or detriment to you to that, because that's really a question that I can't answer for you. You'll have to ask Ms. Curry.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm finna call in now. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, you can sign off, sir. Is Miss Mead available? I see that she's got 2 cases, but I don't. Oh, there she is. Miss Mead, you've got 2 cases on the court's docket.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Mr. Esteban Obregon, 2019, no, it's 20 CF 1521. And what are we doing for Mr. Obregon?
Mr. Obregon, this is his first time up. The state and I have been working on some video issues, and I was extended an offer earlier today, which I'm going to discuss with Mr. Obregon. If we can put this on the April 1st case management, in the meantime, I will speak to him. We may move it to a plea date.
Any objection for the state?
Your Honor, I have no objection if there's a waiver speedy.
There is
a waiver, Ms. Mead?
Yes,
No
there's a
objection.
waiver.
Yes, thank you. And then the other case that I see for you is Fedner Alzim, 20 CF 1632. What are we doing for this gentleman?
Mr. Alzim, the state recently added a second count from another case. Mr. Alzim has not been arraigned yet on that second count, so I will enter a plea of not guilty for him on his behalf.
Okay.
We have discovery on count 1. We had been attempting to get discovery on count 2, but we were told we had to wait, I guess, for the 15 days. So we should have discovery hopefully either tomorrow or early next week. I would ask that we move this to the April 1st case management conference as well. And Mr. Alzim has another case which is set for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That case number is 2020 CF 1578. I believe it's on a complex, maybe, case management. I don't believe it really needs to be. It is a trafficking charge, but it is a traffic stop. I would ask that we move that case as well to the April 1st so that both cases are together.
All right, so with the one that we have before me, which is 20 CF 1632, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on the second count of using a false name on the driver's license. Is that accurate? And then you want this entire case to be moved to April the 1st.
Correct.
But then with the case that's set tomorrow, 20 CF 1578, which is currently on the complex track, you want to move that one to the 1st as well. And let me ask the state, and Mr. Frazier, would it be the state's position with respect to the one for tomorrow that case would no longer be on the complex track, that we would have all the cases, well, there's only 2, both 20 CF 1632 and 20 CF 1578 stay on a regular track versus placing the one that's for tomorrow on the complex track or leaving it on the complex track?
Your Honor, I would actually prefer to have this case consolidated onto a complex track. Not to get into the scheduling issue, but my docket's spread out between both judges, so we're attempting right now to consolidate all of my cases in front of each judge on just the complex dockets.
Okay.
So
I don't have an objection to that, Your Honor. I mean, my thought was just to get the cases together on the same docket, so.
yeah.
All right, so we'll set this one, 20 CF 1632, on a complex track, which will allow it to run with the other case, which is 20 CF 1578. And because I've got both of you here today, and with the permission of the clerk, I'd like to address the cases and give them a new date. Yes, let's add 1578 onto the docket, and it's going to be complex, so we're now going to move it to a complex docket case management, which it looks like those dates are February 26th and May 7th, the next upcoming two complex dates. Would that be accurate, Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor. February 26th would be the next one.
Okay, I would ask for the May 7th, Your Honor. We are currently in the process of setting depositions in the trafficking case, the 1578, because I don't have all of the discovery in 1632. I haven't been able to really schedule depositions in that, but by May 7th, we should have a good idea of where we're at, and we'll probably be able to set it for trial at that point.
There's no objection from the state, Judge.
So what we're going to do, Paula, is we're going to take 20 CF 1578, which is set for 9 a.m. tomorrow. We're addressing it today. It's going to remain on the complex track. The case that we have today, which is, let me find it. It's 20 CF 1632. That case is going to be designated now as complex. Both cases will be moved to the case management conference for complex case managements on May the 7th at 9 a.m. So they'll both be together.
And there's a waiver of speedy in both of those, Your Honor.
The waiver in both cases. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Ms. Mead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. May the 7th, yes. And okay, just looking at who I got next up on my dashboard, Mr. Hollander, you ready to go?
Yes, ma'am. You have Mary Anderson,
Yes,
20
sir.
CF 1460 and 20 CF 1447. Ms. Wilson and I are sneaking up on a resolution, but my client just called me and wondered if you could order her into project recovery.
I can't see why not. I mean, I don't know how much good that does, but if it helps somebody get the recovery that they need, and having a court order will help facilitate that, I'm certainly happy to do so. If she believes that would help.
She's got
Sure.
two alternative offers. Both of them involve project recovery if available. So she's asking, she hasn't decided which one she's taking, but she would like to get ordered into project recovery.
In both cases, in both 20 CF 1447 and 1460?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a proposed order that you want to send over to me, or do you want me to just simply handwrite one, defendant to be admitted?
We'll send one to the court.
Okay.
And I would ask that the cases be continued to the April 1st. Case.
Okay. Any objection from the state on the cases going to April the 1st case management?
No, Your Honor, I just asked that Mr. Hollander waive speedy just to make sure that it's waived on all the cases.
Waive on both cases, Judge.
Okay, so it'll go to the April the 1st, 1:30 on both cases. And Mr. Hollander, if you send me an order that states that this lady will be ordered into project recovery in both cases, I'll sign it for you, sir.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank
My
you.
other case is Noe Garcia, 20 CF 1572. I'm asking for the April 1st case management. Waive speedy trial.
Okay, this is 20 CF 1572, Noe Garcia. Request to put this on the April the 1st case management. Any objection from the state?
No objection with the waiver.
Waive.
With the waiver, Mr. Hollander?
Waive.
Okay, so this case will also be set for that April the 1st case management conference at 1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hopkins, you're the next person I see. You ready?
I am, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, first case I have under Mr. Barry's name is Jose Lea, 20 CF 1609.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, requesting to go to 225 case management with a waiver. I expect by that day that the gentleman will be off the docket. He's entering diversion in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you. Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor.
February the 25th at 1:30.
Thank you. And Your Honor,
Thank
I had
you.
one. I'm sorry, I talked over you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's the powers of Zoom. I just see the other one that you have is Joshua Powell, 20
Yes, ma'am.
CF 1023.
Yes, that's with Miss Wilson. We've agreed, Your Honor, I believe Miss Wilson will confirm with you to go to 41 CMC at 1:30. And that's with the waiver.
Ms. Wilson?
I have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Perfect. So we'll send that to April the 1st at 1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. That's all you have today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Verderamo, you ready?
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon.
2 cases on the docket. Miguel Perez Labrada, 20 CF 700 with Miss Wilson on page 19.
All right, and I'm going to repeat the case numbers because for whatever reason, the volume today in this courtroom is pretty low. So this is going to be Miguel Perez Labrada, 20 CF 700. Mr. Verderamo is the attorney. And what was your request again, Mr. Verderamo?
Can we set this for trial maybe in a June cycle?
So the request is to put this on the June trial cycle, which the pretrial is June the 8th. And then the next hearing date is the 22nd. Is that right, Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And yep, the 28th. Right. All right, we got it. We all have those dates burned into our brains now, right now.
Is there
That'll
a
be your
waiver?
dates.
Is there still a waiver of speedy trial in this case since it's going out so far?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, and then I'm going to call the next ones for you, Mr. Verderamo, so that our clerk can hear. We've got Joshua Piles. He's got 3 cases, 20 CF 718, 20 CF 985, and 20 CF 986. What are we doing for Mr. Piles, Mr. Verderamo?
Judge, 2 of the cases arise from the same date, the same arrest date. We have depositions scheduled all the way through the end of March. I'm going to suggest another case management conference before we actually set up for trial. I don't know if there's going to be motions and things like that will arise from the depots.
Normally, I would say with this case, it should be set on the April the 1st, but if you tell me you're having depots at the end of March, I don't see a May the 6th date being likely. I think, I mean, an April the 1st date being likely, I'm thinking May the 6th is more likely. What say the state?
I would agree, Your Honor. I've got my calendar. We have depots scheduled. We're moving in the right direction, so there's no issue with that. I think Speedy's already been waived.
Correct. If not, I'll waive again.
All right, so Mr. Verderamo, with these 3 cases, we'll move them to the May the 6th case management conference with a waiver, correct?
Yes, with a waiver, 1:30.
Yes, sir, 1:30.
All right. That's all I have. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
All right, and let me just get that one. And Mr. Caro, I see you. Are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm covering for some cases for the Muska Law Firm that aren't in my name. The first one's Elmer Bowers.
Yes, Mr. Bowers.
1376.
20 CF 1376. And yes, what are we doing for Mr. Bowers?
Your Honor, I'm asking for continuance. This is the first time up.
Any objection from the state?
We can continue it to another case management with a waiver of speedy trial.
Is that with a waiver, Mr. Caro?
Yes, we waive speedy.
My next 2 case management conferences are February the 25th and then April the 1st. Which date would you prefer?
April 1st would be good.
April 1st at 1:30. The next one I see you have is Robert Giguere, 20 CF 1146. What are we doing with that case?
Your Honor, I'm asking for a continuance with a waiver. This is the second time up. There's going to be some experts involved. We're working on getting that through JAC.
Okay. Again, the same question, February the 25th or April the 1st?
I'd ask for April.
Any objection from the state?
That's fine with the waiver.
Is that with a waiver, Mr. Caro?
Yeah, waiver of speedy.
April the 1st, 1:30. Next one I see for you is Aji Merville, 20 CF 576. And Mr. Carroll, with that, what are we doing?
Mr. Mervo, we're working out plea negotiations. Ms. Mason, I don't know if you want to set it for a plea date or you want to do another CMC.
I would be fine doing either. I think one of the things that was suggested earlier is maybe we put it on the next CMC while we work out the details. And if we're able to come to an agreement, then we can pull it forward and put it on an earlier plea docket. Are you okay with that?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll do it February.
Sure. We could do either February or April. I'm fine with either.
February would be fine.
All right. Then the next date would be February 25th at 1:30. Would that be with the waiver, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. February the 25th, 1:30. The next case I see is Dennis Pinheiro Garcia, 20 CF 977. Mr. Carroll, what are we doing with this individual's case?
Yes, Your Honor, asking for a continuance with the waiver.
Are you looking for that February the 25th date or the April 1st date?
I think April would be better.
Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor.
And is that with the waiver, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
April the 1st at 1:30. All right, the next one I see is Richard Rosler, 20 CF 351. Mr. Carroll, what are we doing for Mr. Rosler?
Your Honor, the state filed a motion to remove him from 6A on January 5th, but I don't see that that's been set for hearing yet. So I'd ask for a continuance to the next CMC.
State response?
That's fine, Your Honor. Hopefully we'll get that set before the judge before that date.
Okay. We're looking for the February date. Is that right, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, with the waiver?
Yes.
February 25th at 1:30. And then the last case that I see for you, Mr. Carroll, is Rebecca Snitchler, 20 CF 1137. And how are we proceeding with Ms. Snitchler?
Your Honor, I'm asking for a continuance with the waiver. We can have the February date. We're working on communicating an offer.
Okay. Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor. I think we're close. We've been in negotiations on this case and we're just kind of down to the last little bit here.
Great. And is that with a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set that for February 25th at 1:30. Mr. Carroll, I noted, at least as far as I understand, is that Mr. Roystacker is no longer going to be with your firm. Are you or somebody else going to substitute counsel for that gentleman at some point? Is that what's going to happen?
Yes, Your Honor. We're working on that.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. I know I'm still seeing him on my dockets, and then today covering for Judge Manulich, I'm still seeing him on this docket. So we need to at some point, try to clean that up so that we know who's going to be on these cases.
Okay, we will do.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
We need a track assigned for Richard Rosler.
And what track would that be, Mr. Rosler?
I would say standard.
I would agree, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll put Mr. Rosler on the standard track.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. All right, and then that brings us to Mr. Lucarelli. Mr. Lucarelli, good afternoon. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
I see that you've got two clients, one with multiple cases. Let's start with Juan Reyes, which is 19 CF 2279. What are we doing for Mr. Reyes?
This case has been going on for a very long time because he was deported about 9 months ago. And I've gotten some documentation, at least the clerk's information, indicating the order for deportation. And I've provided that to the state. I'm not sure what else I can give them. The federal government isn't very helpful in giving me some kind of an affidavit stating that we did deport him. There's no form that's generated to say someone's deported. In any event, it's not really a bench warrant situation because he's not able to be here. And I think it's the state attorney's office kind of, maybe they should make a phone call. Maybe they can get a better response than I can, or maybe they just don't trust the documents that I provided.
Your Honor,
and I don't know the answer to that. I mean, in misdemeanor court, a lot of times what the lawyers have been doing is asking for the bench warrant. The bench warrant takes it off the docket so that we don't just have these matters that are just docket after docket after docket. But the bench warrant does kind of the same thing. It leaves a case out in limbo for a person that we may never see again. So I don't know what the answer is to that. Ms. Wilson?
Your Honor, yes, Your Honor. Actually, according to the docket, the defendant's presence is mandatory today. He was required to be here. At this point, we do need to ask for a bench warrant so that if he does reenter into the country, at least we can get him back to deal with this case. Otherwise, we're just going to go into limbo in perpetuity from one case management to another. So at this point, Your Honor, we'd ask for the bench warrant. He was required to be here, and being deported would not be excused for not showing up, even though we all cannot. So at this point, Your Honor, a bench warrant is appropriate.
Seems like a pretty good excuse to me when you're not allowed to be in the country.
Whatever.
It is an excuse, Your Honor, but being deported or being in another jail is not legal. Not showing up. So, Your Honor, we would just ask for the bench warrant so that if, again, he comes back in the country and is picked up, we'd be able to deal with this case.
Okay. What are you looking for by way of a bond, Ms. Wilson? I mean, I'm inclined on this to set a low bond in light of the fact that it's not necessarily an intentional failure to appear.
Your Honor, when they fail to appear, it's usually double the bond, and that is what we're going to ask for, which would be $10,000 per count.
I'm not doing that. Let's do it at $1,000 per count, $5,000 total. And the other thing I would say to you, Mr. Lucarelli, and I've conveyed this to some of the lawyers in my misdemeanor cases, is that court, oh, actually, you know what? I'm wrong. We can't do that in a felony case. Never mind. I was going to suggest a plea in absentia, but I can't do a plea in absentia in a felony case. So,
Judge, I have not had any contact with him anyway. He was referred by another attorney on the other coast, and I've spoken to him on the phone early on, and then I found out he was at Chrome. I spoke to the immigration attorney, and the immigration attorney said that he's probably going to be deported. In fact, he was deported, and that was the last I've heard from him, and I have no way to get a hold of him anyway, nor his family.
I have a feeling it's likely that we won't see him again, but if we do see him again, we'll address it then.
We'll do, Judge.
All right. Okay, thank you. So the next one that you have, who has 4 cases, is Kimberly Rizzo, 20 CF 883, 20 CF 998, 20 CF 949, and 20 CF 882. What are we going to do for Ms. Rizzo?
Judge, I think if I have a trial date in the future, if we could set it on a trial date, and we may have some kind of resolution between now and then, but things are kind of moving slowly, and she would like to have her day in court if things don't work out otherwise.
I would prefer it, if you think it looks like it's going to resolve, to put it on a case management conference and then give her a plea date, because right now we're scheduling our trials on a June trial docket, and with the way things are looking as far as us opening up for jury trials, it could likely be more toward the end of the summer. I would really like to preserve those trial dates for people that really look like they're going to go. If it looks like it's a likely possibility of a plea or even a good chance of a plea, I'd rather keep it on a case management just to see if it can be resolved. Now, I'd be happy, Mr. Lucarelli, if you want to not move it to a later case management, maybe move it to February so you can continue negotiations with the state to see if there'll be a resolution. Then you come back in February and you say, you know what, I really think this is going to be a trial. And then Judge Manuelich can say, all right, I'm going to stick it on a trial docket. But I feel like there's a possibility of it settling. And with the possibility of it settling, I'd hate to stick it on one of those trial dates, which really then bump somebody else who really is going to go to a trial, way down the road.
Judge, do we know if is Mr. Frazier on the line there, or somebody covering?
He is. He's right there.
Brock Frazier for the state. Judge, I would agree with Mr. Lucarelli that we can put this on a trial docket. It may resolve. The old adage, deadlines make deals. If we do not have a resolution by that time, then we do have a trial date, and one way or another, we have the possibility to resolve this, as Miss Rizzo has been in custody since her arrest.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you. So she's got 6 months in, and by then she'll have almost 10 months. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then with that representation and with her being in jail, that does make sense. So let's set this on that June trial path as well.
Pre-trial June 8th at 10:30. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
That work for everybody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Works for the state, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. I think that's everything. Is there anything else we need to address this afternoon? No? All right. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, I think we did. Wait, the clerk, just make sure. We got everybody, I think. Are you missing anybody, Paul? Oh my goodness. There's no more. But if you see anything that you think that we didn't hit,
can you give me the the SAOs, since not all of them announced themselves, I tried to catch up on some voices, but I couldn't guarantee who all was present.
Yes, we have Mr. Brock Frazier. We have Miss Tammy Wilson. We have Mr. Ashby. Mr. Ashby, I don't know your first name. Brian, thank you. It says BY, thank you. And then we have Miss Morton, I believe. Is that the last name? Mason, that's it. Sorry. Oh, and Mr. Maresco was here earlier too. And I'm still getting to know some of you because I've worked with some of you, but not all of you. Yes, Mr. Maresco was there too, and Miss Mason. I think that was everybody. There weren't any other state attorneys over the Zoom, were there? Not today, I don't think.
No, Your Honor, I believe that was everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I usually have one state attorney that I see in misdemeanor court, and then today I got like 5 of you. So it's an interesting dynamic to say the least, but it is nice seeing all of you. So, and I'll see some of you again, or maybe all of you again tomorrow, because I am covering for Judge Manya-Leach tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, thank you. Bye.